Well, hey there. Happy Wednesday from beautiful BC. Overcast, chilly day. Whatever, whatever tease we had into summer weather has disappeared for a couple of days. But I understand Ontario's making up for it. So I actually left the house and then I was like, I got out the front gate. So I'm in a gated community. Um, Not because that was particularly a want or a desire. It's just where we ended up when we were looking in a very hot market at townhouses in BC. So anyway, and it was like, no, go around, go back and do a live. And I'm like, oh, okay then. So let's see where this goes, guys. And maybe because I've been on social media, of course, and the pulse out there, or the temperature taking out there is different. And it's interesting to see the world leaders have been at Nato. It's interesting to see the different perceptions of what is said. Uh, it's interesting to see how people are angry with some of it and how people are cheering on some of it. Um, it's just oh so very interesting. And then I had someone took a screenshot of my Twitter profile and said, this is the elbows up carny crowd. And I'm sure, I am positive it wasn't meant as a compliment. But I said, well, thank you very much for recognizing me and giving me a shout out, winky face. Because on Twitter, I go like, I live in White Rock and I'm here spreading the joy. And that's what I try to do, is spread the joy in my daily life on every platform that I'm on, to make my comments as kind as possible. Sometimes leaning a little bit towards sarcasm, but not in a nasty way. So it's just so interesting. Isn't it interesting, guys? What do you think? So Trump has left NATO. He's decided that he's kind of in on it again. These leaders of these countries love their countries so much and love their people so much, and that really impresses him. I don't know why he's surprised. I just don't know. And I'm sure there was a big sigh of relief when he left. And none of them, the bits I saw, you could say none of them lied to his face. Whatever they said was truth, but it could be taken as a compliment or it could be taken as factual. And so again, perception, and he left quite happy, which is good for the world that he left happy. So currently, there is a peace deal currently, and hopefully that holds. Hopefully that Iran and Israel, and primarily Israel, I believe, hold this peace deal. And so it's interesting to see too some of the backlash that Israel's getting as people are beginning to kind of scratch their heads a little bit, as I have done. It's like I've asked these questions of people and I went looking. And so that I guess there's two factions of this, which is Zionism, which believes that Israel is their promised land and Jerusalem is theirs. And then there's the other faction that you're Jewish and it's a religion that you belong to. And it must be a religion that you belong to if you can convert to Judaism. And then by converting to Judaism, you can actually apply and reside in Israel, even though it's a small country and they don't have room to have people coming over. I know of no other country where that's done, where they just push the boundaries into other country, into Palestine, into other people's land, thinking that that is their right. So my phone's ringing, and it's a 1-800 number. I'm going to ignore that. Actually, I'm just going to pick it up briefly and then hang it up, which is my go-to. So, so it's interesting to listen to different scholars talk about it, and of course the universe always answers your questions, right? You start thinking about something, you're like, I don't understand this, and the universe goes, oh well, let's see what we can do to help you understand this better. And it took a little while. It did take a little while, but maybe my curiosity wasn't strong enough. So now I have a better understanding of it. I'm still scratching my head. So there doesn't seem to in many so the US is supporting Israel because, well, as far as I can understand, the Holocaust. That's the card, that's the trump card, as it were, because of what was done to them. Horrendous stuff was done to them in Europe. Germany is still trying to amend for that. It's in their history, it's in their blood. However, horrendous stuff's happening to people all around the world. Horrendous things happen to the blacks in the US. And you don't see blacks from Africa going there and demanding, I don't know, maybe this is a wrong analogy. It probably is. Anyway, there are countries that have been horrible to people in their countries. And it's horrible but the Catholics at some point, the Protestants at some point, it is a religious thing. It's a religious thing. It's just the Germans took that to a whole new level, right? And so now it's there. It's there in their, I don't know, do I say DNA? I'm hearing, it's there in their DNA, that kind of collective trauma that they don't even think about anymore. Okay, thank you. That they don't even think about it anymore. It's just there. And so that's why they act as they do. That is their how they act, as if there's an entitlement to push Palestinian settlers off their lands so they'll move in on farms. They'll move in on Palestinian farms. Palestinians that have owned that land and farmed that land for a very long time. And so that's the entitlement that I'm talking about. So how do you fix that? How do you heal that? And so that's it. There's a healing going on for that. And I, everything that's going on is conducive to actually looking at this clearly for the Jewish people who are understanding, who believe that theirs is a religion, not a race, which it must be if you can convert. Then perhaps they have a different viewpoint. Perhaps it's not in their DNA, unless their, grandmas, granddads, all that kind of thing were part of the Holocaust. See, that's still some of them are still alive. And so it's in the family. It's in the family trauma. So how do you heal that family trauma? There's lots of ways to do it. But Israel's one big scab of trauma, I would think. I know I'm laughing, but thank you. It's just that they give me this term and I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. So I'm sure Gabar Mate has some insight about this. I'd love to sit down and talk about it with him. Anyway, so is that why I came on to talk? I don't know, maybe to get you thinking about different things, to how, okay, thank you. What trauma is in your DNA? What trauma is handed down through the family that the stories that are handed down that you claim as your own, that you almost put you into a victim mode? And are you ready to step out of that victim mode? If you're watching this, you've either stepped out of it or you're ready. You're so ready to step out of it. So, because stories get transferred from, down the line in the families until someone in the family goes, hold on 1 second. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why are we mad at them? That doesn't make any sense to me. So until someone in the family says, this does not make sense to me, this attitude around race, religion, money, sex, that's really not mine. I don't choose this any longer. I choose something that serves me and the collective better. I choose something that is kinder and more loving and more equitable for everyone. Because in all of this, the Jews in Israel and as it was pointed out by one of the scholars, Bibi Netanyahu doesn't even wear a yarmulke, works on the Sabbath like he's not, doesn't seem to be. This one scholar indicates they've taken over the big MAGA, not MAGA, but the Christian, and it's been going on for a while, this big Christian kind of thing. I can't think of the thing. I will see if I'll post the link if I can find it, because I did believe I posted. I'll post it in comments if you're interested at all. So meanwhile, they are visiting upon their neighbors exactly what was done to them, and the U.S. is supporting that with money and missiles and money and money, and they're crying out, "But we are Jewish. We are the chosen people." And forget Gaza. Forget that we've literally penned them in, that we're starving them to death, that we're shooting them within those pens, that we're killing women and children. Oh, forget all that, because we are the chosen people. And so look over there. Look over there. Look what Iran's doing. Look over there. Is U.S. doing that to some degree? And the rest of the Middle East is going, whoa, hang on a sec here. Hang on a minute here. We didn't ask. Before you came, we were all living quite well on this land together. Muslims, Christians, and Jews, all living together. Before the world decided that you were owed this land because of what was done in Germany with the Holocaust. I don't know. So when does that end? Is it time now for all of these old stories to end? Is it time for the rest of the collective world to say to Israel, okay, let's take the borders back to where they were when you were given this land, and anything beyond that you cannot claim. So get your people out of there. Period. Is the U.S. going to do that? Is that why they've bombed and then they get Mr. T pissed off as you know what, and swearing in public, dropping the F-bomb? Seriously pissed. Why is he pissed? I think because, his ego, because embarrassed. He thought he had it, thought maybe he'd brokered a peace deal, and he was due a Nobel Peace Prize. However, if he's the change maker, the force of nature that's going to change this, then go ahead and change this. It really doesn't matter who the universe is using to move things along. And only he could move things along like this. And Putin can move things along like he's doing. And all of these players, Netanyahu, all of these players, all together, in their own way, contributing to the change that the collective of humanity has been asking for, which is peace on earth, more equity for everyone, kindness, love. And that's different where, you're living in North America and you think that more equity for everyone and is that everyone should live in a $700,000 home and be given, and have 2 cars in the driveway. Not everyone wants that. In Europe, that's not what they want. In Africa, that's not what they want. Everyone has different desires and wants. So you better stop looking through your North American eyes, whose perception has been sold an image through TV, through HGTV shows, through the fashion, through the consumerism in North America and the Western society, and step back and realize the whole world's not like that. Everyone's different. Everyone, to varying degrees, wants something different. But what do they all want? They want safety. They want their children fed. They want a roof over their head. They want to be able to get up in the morning and go to work and do something valuable for them. They want to be able to support their family. They want to live in a community that's thriving. All of that. That's what we want too. But it looks different in different countries because everyone had different cultures are different. And so we can have, and I did a thing with that when I was talking about Christ. So everyone is different and every culture can have democracy, but it will not look exactly like ours because they're different. They will forge their way through that suits their culture. So we shouldn't be forcing our idea of democracy on them when they will take our idea of democracy and perhaps massage it, meld it into something that's more sustainable for their country and their culture. I don't know. What do you think? You think I got things to say? You think these guys got something to say? Because, like, I'm being inspired here. And I want everyone to understand. This is important to understand. We are in big change, big, massive change. And it's not going to happen overnight. This is it's been kind of rumbling along a little bit, little pockets here. And there will be some big big ones. And it will shift it forward more. Shift it, and that's all. We just keep being shifted forward, evolving into this collective that everyone's crying out for from their soul level, not from your human ego level, from the soul level, crying out to see everyone housed, fed, educated, safe. All of that for communities, all of that for everyone. To see our planet thriving, to see the beings on the planet, all the insects, the bugs, the birds, the bees, the animals, everyone thriving. That is what, at a soul level, we're up to. And within that, each soul has their own experience, their own way to grow within this grand experiment that's going on right now. It's a grand experiment. And what will it look like as it's unfolding? I don't know. Neither do you. You can guess. That's all. We can guess. Right now, in some ways, I listen and I think I'm living in a freaking reality TV show, but isn't that what it is? Isn't that what's going on? I'm listening to the Secretary of Defense for the U.S. and he's talking and I'm like, crap, you sound like you're from a Top Gun movie. Is this where we are right now? Apparently it is in the U.S. with the current government. So it's also very interesting. So anything else you want to say, guys? And they're laughing and they're like, we think you kind of covered it for now. So I've been shuffling these cards, and these cards are lessons in soul purpose. So these cards are really going for that broader perspective, right? Not getting into the nitty gritty though, unless I ask, am I willing to, if things show up and I don't quite know what it means, I ask, what do you mean by it? What does this mean? To give it to me in a way I can understand. What I've just done is just basically inspired speaking. I just went with the flow, allowed those words to flow through. Okay, my house is empty too. My husband went to the gym, so that makes it far, far easier on me. It's okay. Okay, guys, help me to pick the cards that are most relevant for this moment in time, for this day, for the energy, for the people that watch this, whenever they watch this, whether it's now, whether they watch it 2 weeks from now, or 2 months from now, or 2 years from now. I don't know. I don't know. I just keep doing my thing and hoping I'm playing my part well. So revive the dormant. So what have you let lie? Revive the dormant. What have you let lie? That's bringing it back to you. What's the world let lie dormant? These ideas I was talking about, like kindness and love, equity for all. The grand experiment, there was a constitution. The grand experiment that Canada is, the Charter of Rights, like every country, doing democracy, that are democratic, doing it in the way that's a little bit different. And are they now, and I'm hearing that's what's happening, are they now reviving that original urge, that original impulse that was so strong and part of their, this is what we are going to do. We're going to build something so amazing. And then it gets, of course, gets muddied up, doesn't it? Isn't that what happens in life? You go for, you've got a vision for what you want to do for your family, or a vision for what you want your house to look like, or your community to look like. You go forth and you've got these great ideas, and then people start pissing on those great ideas. Or you lose focus, or you get tired. And so suddenly everything that you thought you were going to do, or that you wanted to do, has been muddied. And you're like walking through mud, and your boots are just collecting this mud, and things are going so slowly. But now it's time to wash those boots off, to kick that mud off, to walk forward with purpose and hold that purpose. Revive that dormant that's been sitting there. Because all those seeds that were planted in the spring are going to be growing. And so when does the abundance show up? I don't know. Strawberries and raspberries are in season. Oh my goodness, they are good in BC. And then we'll have blueberries. And then as all these, so you see, just another analogy. You see where it's going. So here we are. And there you are. And of course, be open to love. See, she thinks she's in a cage, but the cage door is open. Be open to love. My lovelies, be open to love. Love comes in many forms. You have a love for your family, your love for your children, your love for your spouse, your love for your animals, your love for your community. It comes, your love for books, and for, I don't know, crystals, plants, so many things. Be open to love in its many expressions, and allow yourself to receive that many expressions. And then give that back. Reflect that back. Mirror that back to people. Don't mirror back the hatred and the unkindness. Mirror back the goodness that they're showing you. Say thank you. Thank you. I had a request on Twitter. Would I follow this young lady? Because she liked what I was and I just basically comment in kind ways. And she asked so nicely, and I said, well, of course. I went and looked at her page first, and a lovely young woman that lives in Canada, I think in Alberta maybe. And so I looked at her page, and I said, oh, done. Happy to. Thanks for asking in such a kind way. And she goes, thanks for making my day. I'm like, whoa, that was easy. That was easy. So that's how you can do it, right? Mirror back the kindness that's coming your way. And then watch it come back your way. And then there's just a loop, continuous cycling loop. Mirror it out there. There are people I don't hate anyone. There are people I don't particularly like. And I will not in my circle, not in my immediate circle, not even directly in my community circle. I can't say there's anyone I don't particularly like. Some I like more than others. And then the world leaders, some of which I could say I hate, but I don't hate, because I understand the part they are playing. And God, obviously I didn't want that part, because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Neither are you. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? If you own your own business or you're managing a company with employees, imagine all the parts and pieces of that, all the massaging that goes on, all the decisions and choices that have to be made in regards to scheduling, to pay raises, to days off, all that kind of stuff. Imagine all of that. That's just a very small portion of what these world leaders are going through. They're tiny. Do that times a gazillion. And these are the things that they're dealing with. Better them than me. Better them than me. There's so much more at stake. So they're there. They chose it for a reason. And the universe went, yeah, okay, we think you're the guy for the job too. We think you can take this on. And at a soul level, they know what they're doing is fine. Though, there's still the way that they do it. Are they being kind? Are they being nasty? Right? There it is. You can change. You can create big change without having to be unkind or nasty about it. Meanwhile, you can quietly serve. I'm looking. Oh, so it's a tray. It looks like it's a silver tray. And there's there's a mouse on it. So I imagine that's a key. Oh, or is it a bathtub? No, it's a tray. It's got a mouse on it for a computer. It's got a cup of tea cycling around, some fire sun, food cycling around, quietly serving. Is the universe quietly serving? Are you part of that? I jump in and quietly serve. You don't need the some people like the accolades, and some just quietly go about their business. And I like to notice those quiet ones and acknowledge those quiet ones and say, thank you for doing a great job. And they perk up. So if you're one of those quiet people, quietly going about bringing kind, and I know a lot of people in my feed are like that. And I encourage you that if you are a shy one, to step out of your comfort zone and notice those that are doing it and say thank you to them. And guess what? It'll be mirrored back to you too anyway. Maybe not by them, but by someone else. I'm saying thank you to you because if you're watching this, if you're on my feed, you are one of those people. You are doing your bit. You're open to change. You're open to seeing this world evolve. You are part of it all. And your very willingness to allow for change, your very willingness to envision something better. How much better can it get? Right? Your very willingness to do that is all we need. Just keep at it. You can do it. So go for the joy, my peeps. Keep doing it. And frankly, I'm kind of glad my guy said turn around and go back. So half an hour in, I'm going to end this, and I will be posting it on various platforms, but not before or until I've come back from the walk that I set out to do. Okay, guys, you okay with that? Thumbs up. Okay, 2 thumbs up, all fingers up for you beautiful folks. Those are kisses being blown your way. Thank you. Enjoy your day. Bye.